Hi everybody, it's Tracy again. I'm going to share with you my February Fabric Junk Journal from a challenge from DearJulieJulie here on YouTube. I didn't think I was going to do it because I have so many other projects I need to complete, but I did it. I believe it started around the 1st of the month. It might have been later, I'm not sure, but we had till the 28th of February to get our Fabric Junk Journal done. There were some requirements, like we had to have fabric on our cover, we had to have so many fabric flips, or I should say just fabric functions, and there were 15 different fabric functions, and I did that plus I added some. As you can kind of see, my book is a little chunky. It has a total of 108 pages between 3 signatures. I thought it was going to be smaller, but apparently not. I actually ended up cutting out pages, so this is, I guess, small. And my cover I made myself out of just some chipboard pieces, and I used some gift wrap that I found at our local Red Hat thrift shop. And it has daisies on it. I thought that it was sunflowers until the husband pointed it out. So I had to kind of intertwine them. There were 3 mini challenges in the challenge. 3 mini challenges in the challenge. And on those mini challenges we could use whatever we wanted. Whereas the main challenge, there were certain tools and embellishments we could or could not use. The first challenge was to make a tassel. The only requirement of it was that it had to have some form of fabric. So I have some of the sunflower fabric that I chose for my main fabric of my journal. There's some vintage lace in there that I picked up at a thrift shop, some rick-rack, and then there's some lace here from the dollar store, Dollar Tree, whatever you want to call it. And then I do have 2 charms on here. I just have it clipped on with a Tim Holtz paper clip, which I just realized they existed. So there's this little paper clip there. And let's see, there's a charm here. It says Journey 2167. Sorry about the glare. And another little Tim Holtz heart charm there. And that just clips onto the spine. I did this video last night and it was horrible. My hand looked blue because of the lighting. So hopefully it's not blue today. Anyways, so my fabric is my daisy here, and it has a little bit of glossy accents on it, and I fussy cut that. And there is this white piece here is a fabric swatch. There's a girl named Angela, sorry I can't remember your last name. She had told us about a couple websites that you could get free fabric samples from. So of course I took advantage of that. This green is another piece of felt fabric that I picked up at our one of our locally owned thrift shops, and it was like 50 cents for this big old like 16 by 16 inch piece of fabric. And then I have a lace doily here that I picked up for 39 cents a couple years ago, again at a thrift shop. I do a lot of thrifting, like 2 or 3 times a week. So a lot of my stuff has thrift shop finds or hauls in them. And then I just put some little pearl embellishments there. So I'm going to try not to be too detailed, but I'm really, really bad about that. So, and it has a 3-inch spine, I know that much. So my inside is a fabric fat quarters from Walmart. I didn't do any sewing. We were allowed to use our sewing machine, but I'm scared to for whatever reason. So a lot of adhesive and a lot of ripping of the fabrics. And we had certain papers we could use, but we could only use 5 of each one per signature, from what I'm understanding. So I used some coffee dyed paper here. And then there was 5 stamped images, 5 stamps we could use, and 5 pens. I'll need to go back through on some of my images because you can't see that, but there is a sunflower there. Here's one of my embellishments, and we were allowed to use 5 flowers, so I chose flowers that I made out of my Rockstar or tea cans or soda cans using my Cuddle Bug, and I was told or asked if I could do a tutorial on making those, so I might eventually do that. And then 10 charms was our second mini challenge. and 5 of them, 10 or less charms, and 5 of them had to have fabric. So here's my first charm here, and it has the little doily and some fabric swatch there, and then I just spritzed it. There's more of the gift wrap paper there. And then there's another one of my stamps. There's actually a second one here, but again, you can't see it because of the ink choice. It's a vase with a sunflower. And just some lace trim. Here's one of another fabric swatch that I got, and I'm going to I'm too lazy to zoom out. So there's my little fabric tuck spot there with one of my fabric tags. We had to make 4 fabric tags there, and then 5 ledger papers was my second paper choice. And there was my 4th stamp. And another little charm I made there with some brads that I got off of Amazon for some of my hair clips that I make. Here's my fabric page, first fabric page. We could use 5 solid cardstocks. So there's a couple of my solid cardstocks there on the coffee dyed paper. And we were allowed 5 tickets. I of course had to use that one because that is my granddaughter's name. We were allowed to use 5 washi tapes. Here's my first one. And 5 printed cardstocks. And another stamp there. So I believe you've seen all 5 of my stamps. And then our third mini challenge was to make 5 tags. We could use whatever we wanted onto them. And so this is one of my tags. And I just added some buttons and stickers and some of the vintage ribbon trim. One of my tuck spots / edges, and I just stapled that on there. Some of my ledger paper is upside down, and I didn't notice that until I had already stitched them in, my signatures in. And then the little tuck spot here, oops, I'm out of frame, little tuck spot there. Another fabric page. Here's another tuck spot there with some more of that felt trim, or actually it's fabric. I use my pinking shears. We were allowed to use 4 cutting tools, and I don't know why, but they don't cut very well. And a little embellishment there. This, I went back to Walmart because I didn't think I had enough fabric for my fabric junk journal, and so I picked that up. Another printed cardstock. We were allowed to use 5 playing cards. These were, you saw them in my last junk journal haul, or thrift store haul. I was super stoked to find those in a little tuck spot. And there's another washi tape there. Another fabric page. This fabric, actually, they had it with the cream color in the back, and then they also had it black background. Here's another one of my little embellishments with another one of my flowers. And then my first, sorry, I keep getting out of frame, my first flip there. I didn't know what a fabric flip was. I had to ask. I had no clue. Just weird. I've been crafting forever. Another one of my little charms there. And then this here is one of my embellishments, and I tried to make it look like a fan. And then I have some fabric across there with some lace trim. This, another washi there. Another fabric page. And then this yellow edge trim here, I got from my friend Debbie. We were in a craft swap a while back, or actually longer than that. I don't even know how long. But anyways, it was an alphabet swap. You had to do something, embellishment, or something of each letter of the alphabet. This was my yellow. And then a little daisy that I fussy cut out from this black fabric that I showed you a minute ago. And then there's another one of my printed cardstocks there. And the center of my signature. I just used some generic hemp rope there. And then I wanted this to be the front, but the way the paper was cut and folded, it didn't work out. But it's still, I love it. And then we were allowed to use this lace trim ribbon stuff with the flowers. It wasn't considered one of our flowers because it's lace. So I was super stoked about that. Somebody else in the group asked about it, and I was like, yay, I have some of that. Okay, my pages are sticking together here. Here's another fabric flip with some more of that brown rickrack. And another fabric page. I'm still getting better about my sewing and my signatures. I had a bunch of problems with this because their pages were so thick. And then we were allowed 5 postcards, and this one was kind of cool because it was actually on the back of a cardstock paper, and it's sunflowers. So there's my one of my postcards, and another tag. I really love this stamp here. I got a bunch of stamps I got to start using. More of that lace trim. And then another fabric page. And then more of that lace doily from the front. And then my stamps kind of soaked through, but I was okay with that. I don't think it's too bad. Excuse me. And then another fabric flip here with more of that vintage trim. And another fabric page. I'm not going to go into detail because it's obvious what everything is. This is actually fabric, adhesive fabric, however you want to call it. Another fabric flip that I stapled on with more of this trim here from my friend Idaho Amy. She is on YouTube, and she had a whole bunch of it, and she sent it to some of us. For whatever reason, we call it carpet. I guess it's because it reminds me of that old, like, 70s type carpet. But I love it, and I had lots of it left over. And then this is, we were allowed to use 5 pens, and this is where I started using my pens. So I'm going to go back on my stamps so I can color them in, and you can see the flowers. And then another fabric flip here. And this is actually a fabric swatch that I got from our locally owned furniture store. When they get new swatches in and get rid of the old ones, they just give them away. So I have like about a good 20 by 20 inch box full of them. Another tuck spot with another one of my fabric tags. And another one of my charms. There's another free fabric swatch there. And I just folded it over onto the next page here with another one of my playing cards and some lace trim. There's another tuck spot there. That was the end of my first signature, by the way. Sorry. Trying to not make this video so long. A stamped image. And then my other tag. This here, this blue and white, or cream, is actually another fabric swatch. You can see I have problems with my signatures because my flower that I made is right on the edge there. And another one of my charms on a fabric page there. Another fabric swatch that I got. And then this lace trim, I don't know where I got it at, but I was at probably one of my hauls, but I was like, yay, it has flowers. So a little flip there. Another fabric tuck spot with one of my fabric tags. And then some pearls there. And another page, and there's another sample fabric swatch. This is actually my third time taking this video because earlier tonight I was making it and my oven was going off with my dinner. With a just little flip up there. More of that lace trim and on my coffee dyed paper. And then here I actually had something else there. It was some of this lace trim, and I was like, I can't have it that close to it, so I tore it off, and it was sticky, so I just put some of that there. My stickers, another playing card, tuck spot, and then we have another fabric tuck spot, and I fussy cut that sunflower, and another postcard, and one of my other washi tapes that doesn't want to stick down very well, so I might have to get some glue out. And then one of my other third mini challenge tags. Tuck spot there. Some more of the lace ribbon. And then more fussy cut sunflowers with another, it's kind of a tuck spot, but I don't know. And another postcard there. And center of my second signature. This paper is like super thick. And I love how my coffee dye turned out on this. My husband drinks so much coffee, like he drinks pot after pot after pot, but there's always coffee left over, so I take advantage of it and try to coffee dye every night. Another flip with that felt, and then some fussy cut sunflowers. And then some lace trim there. And then this edge, I really thought it was so super cool with the sunflower fabric on some ledger paper, and just another little embellishment there. And then more of that other blue and white fabric swatch. Their swatches, some of them were pretty good. Some were like this big, and then some were like this big, so I was super stoked. And I've gotten them from 2 of the 3 sites she mentioned so far. The third one is kind of, they didn't like my swatch order. They said it was too large. So we'll see if I get it. Another one of my third mini challenge swaps. Mini challenge in a challenge. Tags. More washi tape there. And another postcard. I used almost all that fabric that Debbie sent me a couple years ago. I was so stoked because it has little flowers on it too. I don't know if you can see that. And then just a little embellishment there. And then another one of my charms there with some more brads that I got off of Amazon. Nobody in town sells brads. Michael's and Joann's quit selling them. Our local scrap store does, but not big ones. And I use those for hair clips I make. And then I love how this coffee dye turned out right there. So I had to use that page in there. Another one of my playing cards in a tuck spot there. And then I just put some of that Dollar Tree lace there. And more of the vintage trim, and then a felt trim there. The thing I noticed with these fabric pages is they stick to the fabric if you have them on another page there. And then another flip up there that I just stapled. And you can see there's a flower there. I don't know if you can see that. I had started to stamp it on this page here, and it didn't stamp well, so I tried to stamp over it and it looked horrible. So it looks okay, I guess. I don't know. More of my stickers. Another charm there, and this little top piece is a little lace flower that I found at Michael's discount clearance crap, section, and I picked those up and found them in my embellishments. Another lace edge or fabric edge there. So that's the end of signature 2, and then this is my last signature. Little tag for my third mini challenge in a challenge, and then I took some of all the fabric and just put it on there, tore it and thrown it on there, and then on top of tuck spot with the fabric sample from the furniture store. If you stuck with me this long, you are amazing, because this video is not a quick flip through as I thought. Sorry guys. Another fabric edge there, and I just folded that over onto the other side. I thought that looked kind of cool. Another fabric page. My third signature has a lot more of this fabric in it because that's when I decided I needed more fabric. Tuck spot there with a postcard. I thought I had some belly bands in here, but I don't know where they're at. More of the cardstock, and then another one of my flowers that I make. Some lace and edging there. Another one of my charms. And then here's another flip there. Another one of those cool, I think that's actually the other side of that coffee dyed paper there. And just stapled that on, and then a ticket. Another charm there with doilies and some fabric. And now this is where I noticed last night after I sewed my signatures in, some of my ledger papers are upside down. But I don't care, it kind of makes it unique. So, and then fabric page, and another one of my tags there with a tuck spot. And then a little embellishment, another fabric swatch, flip there. And then another one of my flowers that I made. And then this is a fabric sample as well with a little playing card. And then I put too much adhesive on the tag, and so I just stuck that there. It works, right? More washi, which looks a little crooked. It's all good. Another one of my charms, the center of my signature, third signature. We're almost there, guys. Thanks for sticking with me. Some washi and lace trim. And a little fabric embellishment there. You may hear my dog here in a second. She's getting antsy. She wants out, I think. Some fabric edge there. Yeah, okay. I see I did do a belly band right there. Another fabric page, another embellishment there with some of that lace trim. That's so amazing. A couple more embellishments. Another coffee dyed page with stamp there. Another tuck spot with some fussy cut daisies and one of my fabric tags. And a stamped image there. Another flip out there with the daisy, sunflowers, and it's really close there. I might have to trim it down or something with some leftover of that fabric swatch. And another flip here. See, I got it really bad. Flip there, fabric page, and then another edge there with some of the trim, and then some more of the felt. And look, we made it to the end. Coffee dyed paper and my last fabric flip there. And then this is more of that fat quarter there. So if you stuck with me this long, you are amazing. Thanks for stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in a little while.